Let me get you on camera. Where you from?
California.
No, for real. Where you from? Serious though.
Watts, baby.
I know where you from though. Where you from?
Eastside PJ Watts.
I'm from Grace 2 Rock, nigga.
Right.
They call you, homie?
Big Slice.
Big Slice?
Yes, yes.
All right, nigga. They call me Puto, cuz.
Right.
Nipsey Hussle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Show us a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow us a session on my mama. Shout out to Moxie Approve. I think that's the name of his channel. Let me just make sure. Cause the title said how Wack100’s played the industry, then got exposed. And you know, he been playing the industry so long, nobody really seen all this coming. But we know, just like Loose Lips Coochie Cannon, he launched his career lying on the LOC, the LOEC, claiming to have known me longer than he actually have, just like Loose Coochie Lips Cannon did.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What? Bold-faced lies. So I just say, hey, with no further ado, let's see what Moxie Approve claims Wack100’s has been up to. This is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna turn myself in.
He's about to turn himself in, looking at life in prison.
So he just raided all my houses.
And the last name he says
raided my houses and my property
is Wack100.
It was actually about Wack.
Blaming a man who turned street ties into influence.
Right, we've been to war. You know what a prison war is?
Who transitioned into managing one of the biggest artists in the world.
Wack had pulled up, and that's when I had pulled straps on them.
Hijacking live streams.
Everybody know me, bro. When I caught you in that alley.
Becoming social media's biggest gangbanging cap.
Wack, stop lying. Please stop lying.
This is the story of a man who conned his way to the top in a room where he didn't have the best resume, but those that did ended up in prison.
Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI.
Playing the game of who told.
I ain't signed no statement. If you fucking tell nigga you got to write a statement,
you give a statement.
So the real question was, what game was really being played and who was the one telling?
They say Wack100 is the police.
I'm not the police.
They say you're the police.
Using everything as content and anything as cap.
You think it's okay for these guys to be on here and make up part of the story, that to make it juicy?
Even when some people weren't playing games at all.
Now, cap on that.
And that's on Pyru.
Oh, Pyru, no, Pyru.
Oh, Paul, hey, listen, hold on, what's up?
This is the cap story. Wack.
That was the moment inspired by yours truly.
100.
You got cap in your raps. You got cap in your raps.
Every era of hip hop produces a new type artist, a new type executive, plug. Then there's a person who occupies all these spaces in between. One who's not easy to label, so he labels himself. Wack100 is that figure, and for a long time that worked in his favor. On Pyru, nobody voted for him. Nobody appointed him. He just started showing up to rooms where decisions were being
Pyru, you'd think that was AI if you didn't actually see him
made.
Really, you've been up and down. You've been everywhere where the streets are concerned.
Yeah. And eventually, people started asking him what he thought.
Right, we've been to war. You know what a prison war is?
That's actually a masterclass in positioning.
So everybody want to know what happened to that energy when it came to you revenging your manhood with that man.
And if this story ended there, I wouldn't be doing this video. After the Pacoima Pyru, Cash Jones, got released from prison, he went from the truck driving business to security to artist management. And his come up story ain't regular. The guy's got a particular way of...
And now he's a personality. How you gonna be a manager professionally the whole time? You just dying. Damn, look at... Oh man, you just dying to be in the front of the artist.
moving.
Wack could tell you, bro.
Oh my God.
There's been a story floating around for years on how Cash became Jayceon's manager.
The fight in the mall, it never happened. I seen these dudes in the mall. I was with my kid. They said something, I said something, and I went my separate ways. And then after that, everybody saying gang got beat up in the mall.
Yeah,
and all
knocked
that.
unconscious, okay.
Wack100 told me he has the footage of Game knocked out at the Fox Hill Mall.
And that was prior to him becoming his manager, right?
Yeah, he expressed upon my suggestion that has helped him secure a spot.
Turns out the Game caught himself in an unfortunate situation that Wack had proof of. Then voila. But if you ask Jason,
on my mama, I had no idea I was on here. Shout out Moxie Approved.
He has his own story.
And then Snoop and Wack had pulled up, and that's when I had pulled straps on them because I didn't know what side they was on. And that's the day I met Wack.
You put the strap on Wack. That's
Wack,
the day you.
Yeah, I didn't know what was on. And then I ended up exchanging numbers with Wack. Wack came to the studio. I gave that like 10,000 on my pocket. It was like, right, you can fuck with me.
Whether you like it or not, Wack was.
Mind y'all, the day that Game is talking about, Wack been swearing up and down. I was there for years. And it's the same story he's telling when he said this.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What? Oh, my mama, lying like a muff.
In the conversation because of his run with the Game. Not because the Game was at his commercial peak at the time, but honestly because Wack was managing the chaos, which is basically a full-time job, a part-time therapy session, and occasionally a contact sport.
You'll beat your ass.
Who would?
Stitches will beat your ass.
Who was you talking about?
Stitches will beat your ass.
Who the fuck is Stitches?
I got 20,000.
I beat the brakes off of my. You got me fucked up.
Then came Clubhouse.
Claim to flame. Hitting a white, frail, white boy from behind. And ain't hurt nobody since. Oh, my mama.
And this is where Wack100 became a different kind of monster.
Who that you don't agree with what I'm saying, but Nick, I'm not.
He was created during Clubhouse, COVID. You know how long ago that was? He hasn't been dominant anywhere prior to this moment. This is the only time he ever got to feel like the big guy, the boss, during COVID on Clubhouse. Facts.
Not no rapper.
Yeah, right.
You up?
Yeah.
Now, Clubhouse at its peak was the most dangerous room in hip-hop. No editors, no publicists, no second takes, just people talking shit. He could shift narratives in real time.
No problem with you, Wack. I ain't
Go power root. I don't play with niggas like you. You don't play with me like that no more. And when I see you, don't act like you don't know why I ass out. I ain't gonna do no talking.
He just barked to the top of his lungs. And as long as you're familiar with his resume, you're supposed to believe him. And the nerds did.
Go power root, nigga. I don't power root, nigga. I call power. Hey,
He understood the internet not as a tool, but as a weapon. Wow, some of his peers with even better resumes lacked the clout-chasing wherewithal that Wack had. On Pyru, he wasn't just talking. He was establishing jurisdiction, telling people who was real and who wasn't.
I think they trying to settle 4X.
Crazy.
What do you mean by that?
But we can't skip his biggest gripe to date. Who is snitching?
I ain't sign no statement. Nigga. If you fucking tell, nigga, you gotta
You
write
ain't
a
got to
statement.
sign a statement. You give a statement.
Yes, outside of a few, no one gathers more paperwork and tries to highlight who snitches more than Cash Jones.
So Pooh Shiesty has shown his paperwork on his story.
I don't give a fuck about. I got his proffer that you're scared to post.
He filled in the slot others can't occupy, maintaining access to people in certain circumstances that you would have to be a specific type of person to even know. When it came to street authenticity.
Oh, my mama, this dude do not look like he sound. Swear to God, he sound like a very, very serious person, but then he looks like a lot more lighthearted than he sounds.
Wack checked all the boxes. Wack's name was all over the place. Hell, even Michael Jordan stopped him from catching a fade one time.
He knew he had to put on a good performance in front of MJ. That's crazy. What's gonna hurt nobody? He just had to steal a moment to show it. That's the same thing he was doing outside of the Aiden Ross event. Same type of bush he tried to pull with Mike Tyson. Fake like he fought him. Then he even let Sharp Rob get some of that shine. Fake for him. This cloward.
Michael, I'll buy all your shoes, please. Michael, please, man.
But at some point, the decisions begin to change.
This moment, all about me.
Along with everything else.
Look, now you telling me you a beast. You can't be with any real nigga when you're going to get your man that close to you. Can you be stopped by this type of grip by anyone in the world? He not touching you. Any nigga really going to get their man, that shirt is going to be ripped. It's going to come off. Look, you see where it's already off? He's so performative, just clowered.
It's not my platform, it's Adam's platform, right? And the show itself.
Hey, listen. Hold on.
What the?
Look how he waiting. They just gonna stand there and he need to be ashamed of him damn self. All grease, no flavor. Now shout out my boy Sam. Man.
One of the first gangster gimmicks he would commit is managing 6ix9ine. This was more so a publicity stunt with Daniel Hernandez trying to humanize his image after taking down an entire blood operation that he willingly participated with himself.
If I ask you, why did you get those statements? Let me tell you what you're going to say to me. You're going to say, I heard recordings and they wasn't keeping it real and they violated first. And because they violated, I violated.
He wore rainbow hair and helped the government put people away. Every measurable sense of the code Wack had spent years claiming to uphold, 6ix9ine violated it completely. And what was Wack response? 6ix9ine is a civilian. 6ix9ine was never in the gang. To snitch, you gotta have membership, and I don't know, some shit like that.
Just imagine, just think about it. Before he fell, 6ix9ine was a bigger blood than Hold On 100. Facts.
Savage was upset at me about doing this interview. 21, what's up, man? You got something you want to say to me? We always been all right.
You're hearing in his voice how happy he is to be talking to a celebrity. He the biggest groupie online.
This capathon began on Clubhouse, which he would use as an engine. And the optic of Wack100, street credibility personified, sitting next to the most famous government witness in rap history, and then defending it on Clubhouse to 21 Savage and half of hip hop.
So what was you on the phone with him for 30 minutes about?
Nigga asking him why he talking the way he talking.
But nigga, if it's on, right?
Man, I'm not finna do all this fake gangster on Clubhouse.
What do you mean
fake? Right, if it's on and it's on, get the fuck off the phone.
I just told you how I felt. I ain't got nothing else to say.
21 Savage on that call was not angry. He was confused, genuinely trying to figure out if Wack actually believes what he was saying.
What we doing, nigga? I will sock you the fuck out. Out your league, nigga. You's a fake ass blood too. I'm from California, nigga.
I ain't no blood.
Of course, eventually, 21 Savage himself will be later on called an informant.
It's a gang of fake bloods in California, just FYI.
Yeah. Let the flaw.
And if it's bumped, then why it ain't California? I'm just curious.
No, Wack100 said 21 Savage, I think he.
I ain't never heard it. So y'all heard it first here. Where you from? From Bali, blood. Not Cali, Bali. So when you hear it after this moment, which is March 30, 6/41, 2026, I'm from Valley, blood, not Cali. Mark my words, it's coming.
Cali to try to keep his citizenship. Because what happened, my nigga? What happened to the citizenship case? It just went away.
Now, Wack wasn't thinking about the culture. He was thinking about what draws more clout. And that's the beginning of a specific type of blindness. This was only the beginning of a cap of chaos where he would claim to have paperwork on celebs from Jim Jones to Max B.
Well, I mean, you just mentioned Jim Jones. You accused him of snitching after the whole airport brawl?
Internet. I got some more shit today on, what's the dude name? Max B. He ratted on him.
Not the wave god.
Since we're on the topic, Wack100 got a pizza face and he sucked his mother.
But the crack hadn't fully shown yet. Go back slightly. Before 6ix9ine, before Clubhouse dominance, there was the Nipsey Hussle moment. And this one matters more than people give it credit for at the time, because this is where you can actually see what Wack was becoming. Nipsey Hussle was killed in March 2019. The entire culture goes quiet as a grief sets in.
He did not die an A-list artist. Let's fucking be real.
And in the middle of that grief with the community.
I was in rooms with Puffy, all the A-list artists, Lauren London, and then some. Holding on 100 is not A-list anything. He is not qualified to declare who or who not is A-list. You have A-list socialites. Cause neighborhood Nip was definitely A-list.
Community barely able to process what just happened, Wack100 decides it's time to have a discussion about whether Nipsey is a legend or not.
Y'all talking about he was a legend. If he was a legend, why y'all didn't treat him like that?
On Pyru, let that sit for a second.
This is when you see ignorance at its bliss. He's so much of a hater. He trying to take the word legend, the status of legend, away from the legendary low, not realizing the word legend within itself is not necessarily positive. You have legendary losers, legendary failures. There's all type of legends. He's just a legendary hater. Oh, my mama.
People call Game a legend all the time. Dre a legend. Cube a legend. Eminem a legend.
Oh, my mama, dead homies, daughters, lokes, loved ones, sisters, sons, aunties, uncles, nieces, and nephews. Everything I love and live for, cuz. The first interaction I ever had with Vladim22 on Instagram was about 2019. It was pre-COVID. It was at their old building. I got in this DM and was like, yo, what up? His response was, yo, wow, Spider Loke, the legend. The white boy that sex plays you, that you look up to, kiss his ass and try to prove yourself to for years straight while you want to talk about legend. If I'm lying, ask Vladim22 if I'm lying. Oh, my mama.
Hey, that surely could have waited to happen would be the jumpstart of years of shady moves on Wack's behalf. Next, this man would justify Nipsey's killing as just an instance of someone getting what was coming to him.
It's no shock. It's like everybody's like, oh, what happened? You know what happened a million times. Dude called him a snitch. He came back, he killed him. Well,
the community's response was swift. J-Rock, Nipsey's former bodyguard, found Wack at Rolling Loud and handled the situation the old-fashioned way.
Look at it.
Yes, Wack eventually apologized, but apologies in this life have a very short shelf life. And this expiration date will come faster than most because the behavior didn't change. It just got repackaged. And here's what nobody was paying attention to underneath all of it. Wack doesn't operate on the code. He operates on leverage. Every controversy he generates becomes content. The Nipsey comments generated attention. The 6ix9ine management generated a check. The Clubhouse arguments generated audiences. None of these are accidents. They are products. There are no rules for Wack. At least that's how he acts.
Jay Prince, you know what it was in that alley.
But the cracks become breaks. Before we go too far in this video, hit that like button and apply pressure to that subscribe button.
And shout out to Jim Jones.
What's he doing?
Don't forget, it's been legendarily known for decades, eons, and ages. A man in everybody's business is not a man at all. He's actually a bitch.
Academics, or shall we say capidemics, and others began saying publicly what people were whispering privately. Wack's most active artist, Blueface, was getting robbed.
It's a conflict of interest. You know, I'm not going to get in their business, but
that Wack's percentage of Blueface earnings was structured in a way that made Blueface chaos work for Wack's wallet.
Blueface is signed to Wack100 and managed by Wack100.
Every time Blueface did something reckless, it generated content. Every time content generated attention, that attention was monetizable.
When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. He's still taking at least 20% of that too. You never get managed, or you don't have a management company owned by the people that also sign you.
Most of this information was known, but not spoke on because of the respect of Cash Jones. The problem is that respect began to waver.
Yeah, I mean, what the f are you talking about? Like, listen, the Blueface get a $250,000 cash advance, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the label, right? And let's say I am the label, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's his $250. I don't get none of that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Then I still got to go do everything else that got to get done for the project.
If a label advances an artist $250,000, it is definitely recoupable times 4 or 5. I don't know who the f he talking to, or think he lying to or tricking to a lot of y'all who might not know how this work.
Right? Now, if I go book a tour.
Then came Tupac. When Keefe D was arrested in connection with Tupac Shakur's murder, Wack100 did something that only Wack100 would do. He offered to post bail over $100,000, 15% of a $750,000 bond for the man.
Another person implicating somebody in a hot one, to coochie a rat, then he breaking his neck, breaking his back, to be close to and help and work with Keefe D.
Accused of orchestrating the murder of one of the most beloved figures in the history of the culture.
Wait, sir. You can answer my questions. I'm sure Mr. Arnold as well.
Not only is he accused of that, he's also openly claiming right now, currently it has been, that Puffy paid him $1 million to get it done. It's crazy. This how hold on and get down. This we be around.
You can answer those.
The court saw through it immediately. Prosecutors argued it was a play to secure media rights.
So it's fair to say that you said you would bail Mr. Davis out as long as he follows some stipulations, correct?
A move to get an interview, a movie deal, a piece of a story worth far more than any bail money. The judge rejected it. Wack had the audacity to frame this as loyalty, as if bailing out the man connected to Tupac's death was somehow a service to the culture.
The money's still sitting over there with the bondsman. They're assuring me he's gonna come home.
When Pac died, the Pirus went to war. Cuz always hollering Piru. And he trying to bail out one of the Crips that claimed to be in the car when Pac got killed. And this we all quit. This backwards, goofy, do anything to be seen, heard, talked about, recognized ass nigga. Wack100’. Y'all crazy.
You know, at the end of the day, then we're gonna come home and we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna get back to business.
By this point, the people who knew the real landscape were no longer just watching, they were broadcasting. Because at this point, the only ones still defending Wack were the ones benefiting from him.
2008 when that phone call happened. Okay, so now through all that time, Blue had been getting called a rat.
Everybody taking him out. I seen a post where he got some time, but he ain't finna have to do it in the fashion you thought he was gonna have to do it. Shout out to a real one, free him ASAP.
Getting called a rat, and he's
Jay Diggs had been checking Wack for years before most people knew who Jay Diggs was.
Diggs said, ask Blue, Jay Diggs. Who is Jay Diggs?
Miscommunication set it off early. The demand for a fade came next.
That's my question. Either we gonna get down or we not. All you gotta do is say we gonna get down or we not.
And then Wack crossed the line that you cannot uncross in this culture. He brought up Jay Diggs' mother in a Clubhouse session and let the insults fly.
So when I get to a point to where I think you clout chasing and you supposed to be from the streets, I'm gonna give you a lesson to where you'll never do it.
Imagine Ho100 speaking down on somebody that's supposed to be from the streets, clout chasing. Man,
what the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
If that ain't the pot calling the kettle black, I'd have heard it all.
So I told him his mama.
The response was a diss track, 3 Finger Wack, derived from a story told by Wack's side chick who said he likes 3 fingers in certain places.
Oh, damn, one more finger. So I put the one more finger, and I'm like this. That nigga said, okay, and like I said, I'm like this.
This watermelon head, bucket face, bunk ass bitch. Oh, my.
Bro, that nigga said, now turn.
Eastbourne Uno, Mr. Young 97 for Death Doe, Eastside.
Humbly and peacefully.
Free Big U, neighborhood rolling, Coastal Crib, Eastside.
I want you to answer this question. Did you not call my phone humbly and peacefully?
She linked with Wack, but she fell out with Wack. She put up a video of Wack being belly up, allegedly.
I want you to answer this question. Did you not call my phone humbly and peacefully?
She linked with Wack, but she fell out with Wack. She put up a video of Wack being belly up, allegedly. We don't know if it's Wack, really. Might be a stunt double. Now, there's some audio in it.
And peacefully, I want you.
Wack100’s, you know damn well that's your boy. Look at him in his birthday suit, middle of the night, early morning, 8 naked on Clubhouse, low voice talking to a man, all calm. And man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, when he know he being recorded, when he don't have no idea, this what you get. Shout out to Noonie Green. Go stream Draws Down. Spotter Loke featuring Noonie Green, Nate Nitty, my boy Bay Bomber, 2 Does on there, and then Big U on the hook. Noonie Green got a boy that say, we knew you be talking, you be screaming to your face on the Clubhouse. Who knew you did it with your, you be screaming on the phone to your ass out. Who knew you did it with your ass out? Shout out Noonie Green. Oh, my mama.
You to answer this question. Did you not call my phone humbly and peacefully?
You know, she linked to a Wack.
Are you not butt naked on the phone in the middle of the night talking to a man humbly and peacefully? Wow.
When she fell out with Wack, she put up a video of Wack being belly up, allegedly. We don't know if it's Wack, really.
No,
might be a stunt double.
No, he was belly down, booty up. You got it backwards.
Now, there's some audio in it.
Waiting to be manipulated, mounted, and mauled. Yeah, it's audio, and you know that's his voice, the famous voice.
And peacefully, I want you to.
Wack, instead of de-escalating, went nuclear. Because of the Bay Area affiliation, Wack wouldn't waste a second going in on Mac.
Told, insinuated, there's some weird niggas out here in these YouTube streets, Fed quarters, houses, quite a few of them, insinuating this nigga said he got not only his son killed, but Mac Dre too. Wow.
Dre.
So how I supposed to know about a romper room?
No, they were American gangster.
Huh? Yeah, but robbing banks ain't gangsters.
He the only one don't know about romper room. Only one don't know about 11-8 gangsters. Swept it down. He a LA gang landscape expert though. Queer though. Cloward. Slow tard. Nobody.
It's just robbing banks.
What the?
Being that Mac Dre is a Bay Area legend, this would not be overlooked by J Diggs.
The whole world. Gangsterism is about extortion, selling dope, and robbing. But according to him, selling dope and robbing banks ain't gangster. John Dillinger, Billy the Kid, all them to go watch the movie The Town. That ain't gangster. You let him tell it. Man.
Chasing you this way, I just find you when I find you.
But J Diggs wouldn't let up until he was forced to, getting locked up on a 4 to 10 year bid for a weed charge. And then Ayatollah Marv entered the building.
Shout out my near Ayatollah Marv.
Thing. I got a public service announcement for the little old Wack. This is
he done made some cold public service announcements from right there in that very park, Gonzalez Park. One of them is impossible to find. The soundtrack, not the soundtrack, the monologue sounded something like this. Next time, it's gonna be, I think he said 52 inches lower. Keep fucking with me. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Talk about Wack.
The OG Pyru dared Wack100 to step in Compton after Cash told folks he took the stand on Suge Knight.
Yeah, but Marv is a rat. Marv took the stand and told him Bone had a gun. For real?
Marv represents something.
Man, Bone told every single absolute thing that took place on Rosecrans and Central that day. Everything. It's a statement. Bone told everything. Hold on, honey. If you're going to speak on it, speak on it.
Specific. A figure with documented history in the Compton and Pyru world who carries the kind of credibility that Wack has spent years trying to borrow.
You lie and you exaggerate and you stretch things.
In plain words, Marv spoke it how it is. Wack is all cap.
You didn't get on death row till 2003, and there wasn't even death row then. And matter of fact,
that's facts. That's facts. I got there like 2000, 2001. Hold on, 100. Got there around 2003 toward the end, and I was out of there 04 when I met 50. No, not when I met 50, shortly before I met 50. I had already walked away. But hold on, 100 just got there. They didn't know nothing about game career from 03 back. Oh, my mama.
none of the homies say they even put you on. Ma James didn't bring you around. You got
matter of fact from 04 back, because they met at this day right here where he claimed that I was there and I wasn't.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What? This the day they met, and that must have been in 04 because that's the year I met 50. And if he trying to put me there and I was already in the because if Mobb Deep was there, then I was already at G Unit. Oh, my mama. So cuz didn't meet Game till after I was G Unit. He didn't know nothing about what happened at the road like that, bro. He was late.
brought around by the police.
He challenged Wack to prove slightly that he was the man he claimed to be. Wack began having scheduling conflicts.
I'm in the park. I'm in Gonzales.
Tell you something about that park, bro. All through the city of Compton, all my life, they got these gray signs at all the borders that say, welcome to Compton on one side, leaving Compton on the other side. All these things are gray and blue. It's just the way it is. I was in Gonzales Park, looked up, and the sign is gray and red. It reminded me of the Inglewood. Somehow the form was red. All them years got painted blue, stated blue for basically overnight, got painted back red. And when Asia Brown was mayor, swear to God, I grew up with a gang of West Side Compton Crips. They used to swear up and down that Asia was fucking on the Pyro, and this was their logic. Go look on Rosecrans, cuz all kind of construction, they rebuilding on Compton Boulevard, Alondra, they ain't nothing. Oh, blah. I don't know how them niggas got the trimming in the park. I asked somebody, I said, look, did y'all do that yourself or did the city do that? They got the city. That's officially red. They didn't go over it. And that's the only place in Compton where them signs ain't gray and blue is in Gonzales Park, as far as I know. They might got it like that in Enterprise Park, too.
Gonzales Park. All the trips in Dubai and all the trips to Jamaica can't get you in the park. These young piranhas.
It's the same park that Ho No 100 and Munchie B was arguing, debating about a couple days ago. It's a cold park right here.
Will eat your ass up.
That nigga right there tried to buy Beautiful World from me. Terry Carter, rest in peace. Shout out to Papa Smurf. Because Papa Smurf used to be signed to heavyweight management back in the days. So he got to me through Papa Smurf. He had an office in Hawthorne, right where Hawthorne Boulevard turned into La Brea. And he took me, I went up in that office, his wife was there. It looked like an old movie, almost like a Hustle and Flow, how they had that label running in that little small spot. And you knew he knew what he was doing, but it looked like he was like needing one more big break to really hit his lick. And he wanted to buy Beautiful World. He either offered me $5,000 or $10,000. I couldn't believe it. I said, huh? I said, what you want to do with it? He said, it don't matter. Once I buy it, it's mine. Shout out to Terry Carter, rest in peace. Oh, my mama.
That's what happened if you do. That's all you're going to do is die. Okay, let's see. Where can we do this at? I tell you what. I'm going to show you what this bag do. I'll holler at you. Okay.
But Cash Jones was in a slot he almost created for himself, catering to a suburban white audience who liked to hear these gangster-type tales, becoming a Daily Show-type correspondent for the Capidemics and Adam 22 No Jumper podcast, all the way up the ladder to Aiden Raw.
Aiden, you talked a lot of commission crap to me.
He would use all these platforms to drive narratives of snitching, becoming a part of the Cap Media academics made popular. And this is where things stopped sounding like rumors and started sounding like a pattern.
Dance. Is it on the video? Did another man in that woman's mouth and then Nipsey go kiss her? Yes or no?
We never seen it.
Regardless of anything nasty, freaky he did, he didn't take another man's semen and rub it on his nipples. The thing is, Hold On Honey came out and said it was a gay sex tape. Pushed it, pressed it, made it go all out there viral, only to come back later on down the line that to double back and say wasn't nothing gay about the tape. He's a fraud. This dude is a joke, a clown, and a coward combined in one. We call that a cloward, man. I don't understand how anyone pays him any attention, takes him serious whatsoever. Just remember, he's this guy. I've never been incarcerated with him a day in my life.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
Just remember that. He's a capaholic.
One of his biggest targets on Pyru would remain Nipsey.
Okay, cool. You didn't see any semen, but did that happen? This came out of mouth, and Nipsey went there to go kiss him. Yes or no?
That definitely happened.
His Nipsey Hussle fiasco would somehow align him with Crip legend Big U, who always sought to be the most famous 60 and had in-house beef with Nipsey's All Money In clique for years.
Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos.
Big U had the proven resume Wack wanted, but lacked the social media presence.
But if you don't, check it in.
I hope he played when they was on Gilly and Wallow, and he was just taking as much swipe as he could swallow, putting Big U keywayism above every other keyway that ever keywayed, including all the founders, originators, no matter how much Big U thinks or thought of himself, individuals, he wouldn't even place himself above. Hold On Honey was like, no, sir. Let me glaze you even further.
Well, check your ass out. We're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
The two would become frenemies, which would lead to plays getting mixed up at times.
So me, Trick, and Big U was real close at the time, right? Hey.
He always real close to some type of man. We like brothers, we like family, real close. Pay attention.
Future old bro some money. All right, Trick in Detroit. Me and Big U on a red-eye flight to Atlanta. We coming to LAX. We coming through the security, putting our bag through the thing. Who we see on the other side? Future and the girl that's with the football players. When we come to the thing, I say, hey, homie, you got that money for Trick? He take off running. I'm chasing on the dead homies. What the fuck? Runs into a motherfucking terminal. And
this event would still to this day be deemed allegedly being that Future first denied ever meeting the two.
Okay, Trick want people to know about the Future in the airport if it happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, that's admitting to some bullshit. Like, nigga, what is you walking down for somebody else's money for? You know what I'm saying? Like, cuz that's supposed to be under the wraps.
Big U would also deny that this ever happened.
He chasing a nigga down the airport for another nigga money from out of town. And he reporting it. He didn't get told on. He reporting it like it was cool. He's so slow-tarded, he don't realize it's goofy. It's crazy.
If Big U letting the Nipsey hate linger was intentional, who knows? But the internet OG gangbang crown could only go to one. So the two begin to butt heads. Well, a recording leaked of Wack talking greasy about Big U, and that changed everything.
And he talking to a dude he never met from New York who got all these claims about Bambaataa and ain't never, ever, ever, ever said what year it happened in. He always stumbling, bullshitting, pussyfooting, beating around the bush about how old he was. Then Math Hoffa asked him how old he was when he stopped touching on children. And you know what we got about this dude?
I say, bro, you wasn't going at 30% when he was alive.
Eventually, it got to the point they weren't on speaking terms.
this is the thing. When I look at the whole layout, it's probably only one person out of everything you've been seeing going on that I wish it could have been different.
Right.
And that's Big U.
I heard about the little CJ
All on his nutsack.
Mac and Dub C interview with that guy. I don't accept no apology from no nigga to disrespect my name. Disrespect.
Neighborhood Crip, I wasn't feeling that shit either. On my mama, I think CJ Mack ain't spoke to me in years. And I believe, if I was told right, my reaction to that may have something to do with it. I could be wrong. Neighborhood to neighborhood though, cuz that's still the G on me. It's my big homie, not in the streets, but in hip hop as a key way, cuz always showed me love from day one, ever since he was when they was the underdogs. On my mama.
Respect my family and call me on my name. Come see me in my face.
You better know that Big U, he ain't got no more juice. Ain't nothing.
C on the other hand, all this whole no honey trolling kind of started through Dub C. Dub C, before they ever had that podcast, used to call me and ask me, man, how the money work, man? How you do this? How you do that with your shit, man? I'm putting something together. I'm going to start something. You know I'm going to have you on there. Nightbug Crip used to say this. It's a nigga who came to meet me in like, let's see, before I met 50, before I met Suge, I think. At Wino house, called Wino, asked him, do he know me? And Wino said, yeah, that's my homeboy. He's sitting right here. Dub C pulled up on me and was like, hey, I just got the green light from Russell Simmons to do Def Jam West. I've been keeping my ear to the street trying to see who the hottest acts is out here, and I keep hearing your name. Long story short, been knowing him that long. Dub C used to call me, ask me, tell me all the time he was working on a podcast, and once he gets it, he definitely gonna have me on there, and he was gonna turn me on to all his resources, because I had no idea what it was gonna be, but obviously you see it was on the level, so he knew what he was working with or working on. So he didn't make good on none of that. Matter of fact, he don't even answer my calls no more. The nigga got an artist from 9-7 East Coast, bro. That you hear how my name done got thrown around, chopped up, and you feel me? I just had to I hated to admit, prove I'm Mr. 9-7. Well, Dub C, Willie Calloway, got an artist from 9-7 East Coast. It's Easty, it's blue, because I say so. And that's how you feel me? I don't blow him out the water or none of that. Oh, my mama. And I'm going to humbly, respectfully just shout out Solo 11-8 though. 11-8 9-7 for Def though. This is crazy, cuz Sam's dope.
Respecting him out here. He ain't never put in no work.
And this is when Wack began to troll Big U, facilitating stories of his in-house beef with Nipsey.
So he faced. I need to go look at the old clip of Turtle, 84, getting interviewed. He got all his homies with him. Twin and some old niggas, they going from they hood to Skate Depot, a lot of shit. Go look at the energy of a real G online, even Big U with his reputation. Find a moment with Big U losing his cool with all this screaming like this dude. It don't happen. This dude is a clown.
Timing and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like 6.
You would think he had it cut. This nigga was the coldest partner. I had that DVD long before a lot of people back in like 04. I got it right. And I chopped up Turtle voice to have him host one of my mixtapes. But one of the coldest things on there, he's so soft-spoken. He got the long fly perm. It's him and his homie, Twin. They like leaning on the car talking to the white man. You can't see the white man. You can just hear him. And his voice is like, he sound like that Robin Leach. What was that? This Is Your Life? I think that's what, or The Lifestyle of Rich and Famous. He got like an accent kind of like that. And he asked me these stories. So he was like, so have you ever been shot? And Turtle Twin right there. Turtle right there. And his homie Twin like, yeah, I got shot. He got a big ass tooth missing. He said, yeah, they shot me and my brother the same day. We twins. He said, I don't remember how back and forth. He said, yeah, they shot me in my face and shot my brother in the ass. He said, yeah, man. He said, I went back over there, to do my thing and did my thing. He said it was on the Pie Rules. He said the man up on the telephone pole, he saw me, man, and I went to jail. And then the interviewer was like, oh, really? So did you do a lot of time? He was like, no. He was like, why not? He's like, cause didn't nobody come to court? They was scared. Then the interviewer was like, why they was scared? That nigga Turtle said, cause we mean as a rattlesnake. The smoothest, unhard, unaggressive, unintimidating, but so poignant. It just, I seen this shit when I was young, cuz the motherfucking Compton police used to bring this shit to my church, Tamron Avenue, 70th Adventist Church. Noel Jones rents our church out on Sundays now to this day, right on Tamron and Murr. And they used to call themselves doing scared straight type shit and bring this shit to the church. Boy, me and my cousin Stay Slow from Southside, the church had no idea. That shit used to just have us like, can't wait to get out there. Rest in peace, Turtle and Twin.
Oh, I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. So
you get a call from Big U.
Listen how he breaking down elements about a murder prior to it taking place, insinuating that Big U had knowledge, bro. Look how he's making sure he dissects it and makes it clear.
You, Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic.
It's what the niggas do in the cell that's undercover informants and you don't know. They do you like this.
Call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip.
And then the indictment came. Feds raided Big U's home and other locations.
To see what's going on, they talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack.
Before turning himself in, he mentioned one name in particular.
Cuz ain't lying. Think Cuz just got right now, at this time, he got the energy to be making that up, bro. You know all the shit that's going through on his mind. Cuz.
As a part of his last words before prison.
Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money.
Claiming Cash Jones was an informant.
It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in, though.
Something that began to make sense. He flat out worked with 6ix9ine.
Big U. Rest in peace, Young Flo. L7 Crip, Lantana. Could have been had this shit done over with, boy.
Hip-hop's most popular rap. He claimed to have notified Big U hours before the raid.
I think you tipping off Big U. You should only know this if you're doing the investigation. I think that definitely.
I did what?
And I thought he was capping.
How many times have I capped?
As much as they clown Flacco thighs, cuz how they don't be on. Look at Miss Butterworth. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Definitely.
I did what?
And I thought he was capping.
How many times have I capped?
They say Wack100 is the police.
I'm not the police.
They say you're the police.
Because I know a lot.
But then he would shock the sector when flipping through his wallet. The most ironic moment occurred. A badge.
Wack100 that told him that though. Because nigga statement in the his statement there, nigga.
He would get scorched online, starting to be known as a cat king. He would attempt to calm everyone down by revealing it was a fake badge.
Y'all thought you had me. We got him. Y'all got to be goofy. Let me tell you something. You see the wear on this? The wear? Been in my back pocket for a while.
Whether you believe Wack's badge is cap or not, it symbolizes a litany of events involving a man with a few enemies he pointed fingers at, looking at heavy time. So even if he wasn't an informant, his story would sound the same.
Yo, Wack, what's up with the screenshot that Traplo Ross sent me?
Damn, Loose Cannon, Big U, J Diggs. Any more of his enemies looking at Major Time? Brick Baby was an op too. Oh, my mama.
Are you begging Big U not to kill you?
That's cap. That's AI. That ain't me.
It's in the indictment.
Line, AI.
But the real showing of a loss of power was coming. In a war, Wack was used to winning. One thing about these managers who are taking way more money than they're supposed to.
Oh, my mama, when you see him, don't it sound like that ain't the nigga talking when we can't see him? He look different.
From their artists, they definitely not liking someone else trying to come and take extra money from their artists. This might have been the case when Blueface will reportedly get denied his back-end pay after losing in a 6-round fight in a league ran by Aiden Ross called Brand Risk.
Can we get you back in here, bro? Can we see you back in Brand Risk?
Hey, you know, you ain't gonna lose your own money on your own fight card.
Blueface was far from happy and felt foul play.
If you do get back on Brand Risk, do you want a rematch or who do you want to fight?
I probably won't get back on Brand Risk because you tampering with the bets.
Never that. Never that. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, not only would Aiden win off his personal bet, he would decide not to pay Blueface, who was the main draw in the first place.
Setting the rigging, all that stuff. Now,
this thing, bro, Blueface had the perfect opportunity to get his win and his cardio A1 back to high school athlete condition. He just did 2 years with nothing but time and a track. You know, he saw certain individuals every day that didn't do nothing but run laps and run laps. And he has it in him. He did that before. But he was boxing before he went. He could have came home in perfect condition, perfect win, whooping ass.
listen, chat, is it illegal that I bet academics on a sanctioned Florida event? No.
Aiden, being one Wack has protected against blacks many times, would presume to be an easy one for the Pacoima Pyru to check.
Yo, this dude named Glasses Loke and Trap Bradshaw, they're threatening me.
Glasses? No, I know them dudes, bro. Glasses Malone is who he is. I'll call nephew right now.
All right, Wack. Thanks, bro.
But this time, Wack only had himself fooled.
If I'm Rain Bet, I'm not paying them a dime, to be honest. Just being honest. I mean, why would you? It's breach, it's leaks, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, why would I? If you were a Rain Bet situation.
Let me tell you why would you, Aiden?
Sure.
You say you my friend, right?
Yes.
What that's worth? Because I didn't have.
I know this dude did not just suggest that him and Aiden are friends. Remember, he talking about him and Trick Daddy, and they were so close. He always friends, buddies, family, fake cousin, brother with a grown-ass man. And then Fake was in jail with me as a juvenile. This dude is a fraud.
Hesitate for you.
But after listening to this, who knows? Maybe it's just another play.
Yo, Wack, let me call you when I'm done screaming. All right, baby, you look so hot the way you're laid over like that.
Hey, bro, Aiden.
I'm sorry.
The truth about Aiden Ross.
He been watching Vladimir Snakes play you for years. He been waiting.
In the boxing match, right? And his sexual advances at people.
He thinks that this could be used again. Like, Wack, are you fucking retarded? He's old. How old is Wack100?
Younger than me. Oh, my mama. Look how he look. Look at the low. Because it's younger than me. East side, E double.
Oh, he's 50. Okay. Because, dude, I had.
But on Pyru, if every.
He didn't turn 50 before me. I turned 50 19 days into the year. Sure, he turned after that. Oh, my mama.
Everything is content, then nothing is real, including him. But Wack is far from the only one that excels at this. Because once you see it here, you start seeing it everywhere. Thank you for watching. If you really want to support this channel, please subscribe to my Patreon. I have exclusive videos over there and all of these cap stories, unfiltered, uncut, raw.
I let him get all that off because we did this whole video. But yeah, that was a good one, man. I know it's kind of long. You stay here through the whole time. I appreciate it. Yeah, Whole No 100 is a joke. Anybody find themselves politicking with him, sitting next to him, validating him, go ahead and throw in your clown nose too. Oh, my mama.
Let me get you on camera. Where you from?
California.
No, for real. Leave no, serious though.
Watch, baby.
I know where you from though. Where you from?
Eastside PJ Watts.
I'm from Grace 2 Rock, nigga.
Right.
They call you, homie?
Big Slice.
Big Slice?
Yes.
All right, nigga. They call me Puto, cuz.
Right.
Nip Hussle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.